Hey guys, Mike here. So before the tutorial starts, I want to quickly say that everything I do here or show you guys is not the way Scott did it in his game. It's just the way I did it and the way how I find out how it should be done. But anyway, enjoy the tutorial. Hey guys, how's it going? Mike here, and welcome to our first ever tutorial on this channel. So, while I was thinking for a tutorial to make, I thought, well, why might as well start off with ClickTeam Fusion 2.5, because that's something I've been working on or getting myself into, of making a 500 strategy game. And so yeah, basically what are we gonna make in the next couple of tutorials? I'll show you what we're gonna. So what we're going to make in the next couple of tutorials, we're going to make a main menu that goes to the newspaper. It goes to when it shows night 1, all the way up to the game. And in the game, I'm going to show you how to make the scrolling effect, like when you move your mouse to the left, it goes left. When you move your mouse to the right, it goes right. The left door light, the right door light, the tablet, which is the actual animation of the tablet showing up. And then switching to the cameras and back tablet going down and switching back to the office. Camera select, so the selection of all the cameras. Golden Freddy, because I have never seen anything about Golden Freddy, how that's been made. So, but I know how to make it. It's my own way. It's not the Scott Coffin way, but it's my way how I make it. Scrolling is nothing. Bonnie AI. I'm going to show you guys how to make AI for the animatronics, and that's pretty much it, because this is some extra stuff. And so yeah, might as well start right to it. Your game will at the end look a little messy, but don't worry, it will look all fine in game. It will all look fine in game, because if I go here, you guys can see Gold Freddy right there, but that's because he will not appear right off in the game. But I'll explain that later. So what we're gonna make right now is I'm gonna click. Close this one. No. And what we're going to do is we're going to make a new project. So over here, right next to the TV, we want to change the resolution to 1600. I can click it. And then 7 by 720. And then go to frame 1. As you can see, it says here 1600 by 720. So we're going to go to the application, go to the computer settings, or Windows settings I think it's called. And change this to 1280 by 720. Now, why do we do this? We do this because we want the scrolling effect. So when we actually, let me go into the frame, not the application. This is on everything upon this little dotted line we will see in game. This we will not see in game. You can lower it, you can test around with it. This is my personal preference. Now, there's a tool that you might want to need, that is the perspective tool. Alright, in order to get that, you just right click, insert object, go to manager, and go all the way down to the P for perspective tool. And for me it's not showing up there because I already have it installed, but for you it should say perspective tool. You just click install, wait a little bit, and then you have it. If you go to other objects, it should be right here if you've done everything correctly. You can also download it from the site, but for whatever reason I have had problems with it, so I've done it this way. Now, the thing is right now, what we're going to make right now is the main menu. So let's go to the frame and rename it so we know exactly what it is. So we're going to name it main menu. I can't spell for shit. Main menu. I'm also going to rename the application. I'm going to call it the tutorial. I can't spell, really I can't. There we go. You know what? Fuck it. It's my OCD. There we go. So now that that's done, we, after 2 years of finding ourselves a name, we can finally insert our object. So in order to make the background appear that we see, like the spazzing or twitching, I should say, Freddy in the background, which is also something we're going to make, you just right click, hit insert object, go to all objects and hit the active object. Double click it, then click anywhere on the screen so it will spawn. Now it will look like a little diamond, but double click it, go to the folder, and then go to the, this is the right folder, but on your desktop, I'm gonna put a link in the description about you can download something in from a Dropbox which is the Fnaf game files, and that's from Five Nights at Freddy's 1, 2, and 3, all the game files, all the sounds, all the textures, everything you need. So depending on what game you make, we will be focusing on, or I will be focusing on the first game because it's easier and basic to begin with. I might practice a little bit with third and the second one, but we'll see how that goes. So click on the first one, and then go to main menu. I haven't sorted out everything yet, but a lot I did. So go to this one right here. It's all black with the Freddy right there on the right. So here at transparency color, you want to pick everything except black. Anything that does not show up here. So purple doesn't show up, red doesn't show up, blue doesn't show up, green doesn't show up, anything like that. As long as it doesn't appear here on the screen, you should be fine. Click OK. Now we have it right here. Before we're going to hit OK, so we have our background, we're going to add a little bit of stuff that we need, but we might need later. So click new animation, we're going to call it switch 1, and insert this frame right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to insert this one. Alright. We might have actually copy paste this a couple times, like copy paste it like 2 more times, so we have 3 of them. Then add a new frame and paste this one back in. Now basically what it does, it looks a lot like this. Or I need to loop it so you guys can see it better. See, it looks a lot like I'm twitching. So you can change the speed around, like let's say I do 40, then it goes a bit slower. I actually like that. So turn off loop, just turn on the loop if you want to check, and then turn it off because that's exactly what we want to do. Now let's make another sequence with, it's going to be exactly the same. We're going to call it Twitch 2, and it'll be exactly the same, but then with this one. Press OK, click it, copy and paste it 2 times, new frame, and the original one. There we go. So now let's change this to 40. Okay, make another. I'm going to do the same one for the last one. I accidentally need to rename it. So I know exactly what it is. It's this one. This one is a bit scary, in my opinion, but I'm a pussy. And change to the last one. There we go. So now we've got a pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm happy with it. So you can screw around a little bit with the frames, do whatever you like. If you're not sure what you want to do, and if you're very like beginning, then I'd say just go for this. Frame 1, 2, and 3 have these ones, and then frame 4 is the regular one. And set the direction options, let the lower speed to 40, high speed to 50, and repeat 1 back to 1, and don't loop. Now, what we're going to do is in stop, which is with the original frame, you just don't do anything, because that's basically where it's going to begin with. So, no, I did not meant to delete that. Can I undo that? No, I cannot. I fucked up. Sorry, guys. Alright, there we go. So, I fucked that one up. I thought I could rename it, but I currently can't. So, press OK. Now we have it right here. Now, I see a lot of people on the tutorials like struggle getting it in the right lines, and you need to do it. Like, let's say it's over here. You just turn on the snap to grid right over here. Snap to grid and click it, and just will fit right in place because it will align perfectly on the axis, and then turn it off again. Now, I think I'm doing something wrong because it doesn't show all the way up. I can stretch it, but it looks ugly. Do not want. So it doesn't matter because the application is it doesn't matter. This, I just remembered now. It's been a while since I did this. Don't worry about this side. Just don't worry about it. It's all good. So now it looks kind of a lot like this. You see? Now this is how the game looks like. So what we're going to add now is some text, new game, and continue game. In order to do that, we're going to right click, hit insert object, active object, and click on it. Double click it, insert, and go to new game right here. Here it says, or let's go Five Nights at Freddy's first. So click on it. Now, as you guys can see, it says Five Nights at Freddy's, but there's a gray background there. We want to get rid of it. Now, remember what I said about the transparency color? Click pick, and then click. If you can zoom in to be more English. Click on the gray bit, and you see it changes to gray. It changes to the color that you pick. Now, press OK. As you can see, nothing happens yet because we need to choose if we want it to be transparent or not. In order to do that, you click on the little fish over here. It looks like a fish, and it's actually transparency. Click on it. Click transparent color. You just click yes, and it should be transparent. You might not see it, but because the letters are white, it's hard to see. Just press OK, and there you have it. Now it's easier to turn snap the grid off, because what I always do is I just put it here in the corner, make it a bit bigger, and put one to the right, one to the bottom. There we go. Looks a bit better. So now we're gonna make the new game and the continue game. It's gonna be exactly the same. Just import new game, pick gray. Okay, transparency. Turn transparency on, and hit OK again. It's really easy. So figure out where you want to have your new game, and that's it. Now insert the continue game and show transparency. There we go. Alright, so put it right underneath here. Now there's one problem with transparency though. As you guys saw, there was a big box around it. Normally, if you have an event that says, oh, okay, if the mouse touches this object, do something. Well, normally that would be right over here, because remember there was still a gray box around it. Now, because we remove the gray box, it also removes the hitbox of whenever we touch the object. So in order for us to touch the object, let's say we want to touch new game, in order to click on new game, if we touch it right here, it doesn't work. Because it's transparent, so it still thinks we're hitting the background. So we're gonna change that. We're gonna add something called. Well, you call it whatever you want. It's just gonna be another active object. We're gonna call it's an active object. So add another active object, and double click it, hit new, and make it whatever color you want. I'm gonna make this one green. Fill button. There we go. Now, as you can see, it's this is going to be the box that where the player will actually click on. So click on it, make it a bit bigger, so it covers the whole new game thing, and there you go. Now let's going to duplicate this object real quick, or clone, I should say, and put it over here. I'll make it a different color. Don't mind. There. Now this is basically what the player will click, but it will not be showable in game. Now, if we go into the game, it will be showable, but we're going to do something about that. Go click on it and hit visible on start, tick it off. So if you tick them off on both of them, now if we go into game, we won't see those boxes. Basically, there are two ways to make something not appear. It's clicking the visible on start, or go to the event and right click, or actually I'm sorry, right click on new condition, right click on the green or the red box or whatever color you made it. Click on visibility, or sorry, I'm being really stupid right now. Click on the gears, I said always, and then go to the green box or the red box as a visibility, make object invisible. Now only do this if you want to make something invisible from the start of the game, but want to make reappear later on. If you want something to be invisible always, like 100% of the time the frame will be running, just click on it and hit visibility on start, because it coding in this game takes a lot, makes the game bigger in megabytes and gigabytes. So just taking this button takes like no effort and no megabytes at all. You want to have your game as small as possible. Now, so what we're going to make now is when we hover our mouse over the red box and the green box, we see like there's little arrows over here, so we know which one we are selected. In order to do that, we need to add the arrows first. So we'll use these ones. Now as you can see, there's still a gray. Pick gray. Okay. Make transparent. just like we did before, and hit OK. And we're gonna zoom in a bit, and we're gonna rotate it. Now there's no snap to grid rotation, so I'm gonna need to be very precise here. There we go. Should we do it? So I'm gonna turn snap to grid off and line it perfectly. So let's duplicate it, or clone it, I mean, and put the other one over here. There. See, let's do it like this, so it's aligned. That's because of my OCD. There we go. So now it looks a lot better. But they're all appeared. They all appear right there, and we only want one of them appear. First, we want none of them to appear because we haven't selected anything yet. So what we'll do is we'll go to the event editor and make a new statement, new condition called. You right click on the checkerboard and click start of frame. So this will only be on start of frame. If you do it on always, you cannot change it because it will always run. It will always be that condition. Click on start of frame, and then you might not see it, but the last two are actually the little arrows. And click visibility, make invisible, and make the same one for this. Instead of right clicking again and make invisible, you can also just hold this one and drag it over and let go. So you're actually copy pasting a condition, and it's easier than right clicking and making a new one. So now those will be invisible, but we want them reappear when the mouse hovers over the object. So we can insert a comment. You do not need to do this. This is just for purposes if you want to keep things organized. So I'm going to add a comment and add this selection. It's called selection. I'll do a red background because I like it, and then there we go. So what you want to do in order to make it make only those arrows appear when we hover over our new game or continue game, we want to right click, hit insert, hit new event. Then what we want to do is when we're going to go to the keyboard and the mouse, right click, mouse, checks if mouse pointer is over an object, and then let's say the green one, which is the new game, then click OK. Then what we want is this one to be visible again, or reappear. But what we also want is this one to be invisible. I'll explain to you in a second why. Now, we want also the one for the red box. So I'm going to make a new event. I'll do it exactly the same. Mouse hovers over an object, the red one. We want to make this one reappear, but then this one go invisible. Why do we want to do that? Well, if we do this, it basically when we hover the mouse over the new game button, the arrow will appear at the new game button, but not the continue game button. Well, of course, they all start disabled, so why should we bother? Well, if we go to the continue game and we don't have it so that the other arrow will be invisible, they will basically all be there. If you know what I mean. I'm very bad at explaining, but I'm trying my best. So what we did now is I'm going to show you in game. What we did now is basically this. As you can see, it now lets us know which one we have selected. We can do whatever we want with it, and we also so we can select it now. It doesn't do anything yet, but we can select it. We also want to play a little sound, so we know that we're selecting something. So let's do that. When mouse pointer is over 5, we're going to go to the sound over here and hit sample. Don't want to hit music. Even if you're adding music, don't pick music because it's a way different file size. If you click we're going to use samples all day. So play sample. From file, hit browse, and then go to the file that that you download from a Dropbox and hit to the sounds one. The sound we're going to use is blip-free, and you guys will hear any second how it will sound like in game. Drag it over to the other one as well, so it will also appear when we hit the red box, and let's test out our game. Now, as you can see, that's a problem that you're going to have. That the sound keeps playing, even though you did not loop it. That's because it happens every time. Because it doesn't say that if the sound is finished playing, we don't say, do we need to run it again? Do we want to stop? We need to tell that. That's all about coding. If you want to code something, you need to be very precise about what you want the computer to do. So it's very easy. Just right click on the condition, hit insert, and then go to the little cog wheel and hit limited conditions, only one action when event loops. So the same one for this one. And now if we do it, you can see it doesn't do that. I don't know if you guys can hear the sound, but it works. It works now. You guys can test it out for yourself now. So this is basically how that works. But we're gonna add a little bit different. This works fine for your game if you want it this way. But as you can see, as we go off with our mouse from continue, the thing still stays there. Now this is something that we're gonna use, which might be very useful for you guys later on. What we're gonna do is we're gonna hit a new condition, insert a new event. If the mouse hovers over an object, let's say the green one, which is the new game, but we want this to not be true. We want this to when the mouse doesn't hover over this one. What we do, we right click and hit negate. Not every condition has that option, so that will be grayed out, but if you hit negate, you will see a little red X, whatever, and that basically means that a mouse pointer is over green, mouse pointer is not over green. You need to do like the opposite. So when it's not over the green bar, we want it to be invisible again. So the same one for the red one. As I told you, you can drag it, so it will be copy pasted, and then make this there. Now, it's very easy. Let's see how it looks now. See? Now it doesn't. It's very handy. Now the user knows that okay, I have nothing selected. If the arrow would still be there, he thinks, oh, I've selected something. I'll better click, but nothing happens. So this is a better way of doing that. So what have we added so far? We have added the background for Freddy itself. We have added Five Nights at Freddy's itself, and we have added the buttons. Now what we're going to add is the static thing that you will see in the background. So what we're going to do is we're going to make two new layers. The layers are basically like, see, if you know Photoshop, you know exactly what layers are. They work exactly the same. But if you do not know what layers are basically like, let's say if I put this, I need to hold shift, select all of these and drag them into the third layer. Actually, oops. No, it doesn't do what I want. These and drag these into the third layer as well. There you go. There you go. Alright, put these back. Now as you can see, because these are at the same layer, because they're I don't know why it shows that, but it doesn't matter. Just don't bother it. It will still work. As you can see, I'll show you. See, it still works. So what we're going to do now is make the static, and the static we're going to put in layer 2. I'll show you why we need to put that in layer 2. So insert new object, active, and we're basically going to use the same static that's used for the camera. So go back to the one, camera is static. These are all the static frames. So click on the first one. And as you can see, it has you won't see anything through it. You say, oh wait, there's a bit of black. Let me just pick black and press OK. Hit the transparency button, and then oh, that doesn't look right. No, of course it doesn't. It doesn't look right because this is not the way you need to do it. What you need to do is just import an animation. Just let me pick something like yellow. There you go. So hit OK. Now we're going to add a new frame and add the second one. Now do this for all the frames, so that can take me a little while, so I'll try to do it as fast as possible. You don't need to do that many frames, but if you want a detailed static, you can do as many frames as you want actually. Doesn't really matter that much. Alright, I'll just do the same. No, they're not. Right. New frame. No, don't save. New frame. We'll put the last one. There we go. Alright, so now you want to go to the direction options and hit loop, because you want this to loop. Now it will look a lot like this. As you guys can see, it looks now like we have the static. So that's all good. Let's press OK, put it in here. But slap the grid on so we can fit it perfectly. Turn it back off, but as you can see, it doesn't show, like, we don't see the Freddy head. And if we go into the game, it doesn't show the Freddy head. What you do notice is that the Five Nights at Freddy's and the new game and all that stuff is above the static. See it as some sort of pie or something, like a layer of pies. The top one will always be shown. The static one in this case will be underneath Five Nights at Freddy's, the new game, and the continue buttons, and the main menu will be under the static. So that's why we don't see it. But we're gonna make it transparency. We're gonna make it transparent by just clicking or selecting the static. Go to, where was it again? I forgot where it was. I'm so stupid. Effects. Here we go. Just at properties, go to effects and tick transparent if it's not ticked already. Go to effect, hit edit, standard, semi-transparent, hit OK. Now go over here and type in the value. Well, the value I like to use is 150, and if you press OK, as you can see, it's transparent now. And you can slightly see Freddy. You can change it to 175, which is even better, I think. So now if we go into game, we can see Freddy, we have the transparency, and we can still select our new game and continue button. So now the last thing we're going to do for this tutorial is we're going to add some music. So in order for us to do that, it's very simple. One thing you want to keep note though. So we don't need to add in. If we want to add music, you don't need to insert an object. Just go to the event handler and always go to the sound, play sample, play and loop sample, because we want the music to continue playing. Then hit the music thing that Scott uses in his video or in his game, and that's called darkness music. Click it. Now here you can see how many times you want to loop it. If you press 0, it will continuous loop. Now, remember what I said about these ones, that you keep hearing it? You keep hear the sound over and over again. Be sure to do that with this as well, or else your ears will be deaf, because it will keep playing. So just, actually no, you do not need to do that. I'm sorry. Click this. Wait, you do. I'm sorry, I'm being really stupid. Limited conditions. Only one action when the event loops. So I'm sorry, just ignore what I said. Just under always where you add the music, just add the condition. Only one action when event loops. Then select the frame. As you can see, it fully works. We hear music. We hear something when we hover the buttons. Kind of looks like the Five Nights at Freddy's games without the Scott Calvin and the version number, which you can add, but I don't bother because it's just some decoration. So that's pretty much the end of this video. In the next video we're gonna finish this and show you how to select. When you click new game, you go to the newspaper and go to the timer and then go straight to the office. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm trying to show you guys everything that I did in my Five Nights at Freddy's. I didn't do that on cam. Let me show you what it is. There it is. So I'm gonna show you how I did this, how I did the whole night 1 thing. I'm gonna show you that as well. I'm gonna try to do it. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did. Show me some support if this helped for you. If it didn't, let me explain me why it didn't work, so I can help you in the comment section. So anyway, I'll see you guys in the next tutorial.